Hey guys, I'm Tim and I've been living in the Netherlands for 8 years now, so I really want to share my experience with you.
And I'm Dennis, I'm Dutch, and I'm here to check that he doesn't say anything mean about the Dutch, because otherwise I'll just kick him under the table.
This video is about 11 habits I acquired while living in the Netherlands. The Dutch have quite some weird habits, and I happen to acquire some of them as well in the past 8 years. Unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately? Depends on how you see it, I think.
And if you haven't already, then subscribe to our channel for more of Tim's experiences of living in the Netherlands, and we will show you the best travel spots here in the Netherlands as well. And we travel the world also, so we'll show you videos from Japan, New York, or Barcelona, or wherever we've been to.
Yeah.
So subscribe, and yeah, let's tell them your 11 habits.
Yes, let's go! The first habit is actually one thing that Dutch people are really known for. It's for always looking for the best deal and being cheap and paying as less money as possible.
We love bargains.
Yeah. Like always on the lookout for the best value money relation.
There's also a Dutch sentence that a lot of foreigners know. If you go to certain countries where a lot of Dutch tourists go, then the salesmen, they will say, kijken, kijken, niet kopen, which means we look but we don't buy.
Look, not buying.
Yeah, so we look for the best bargain and we just wait until we find the best bargain before we buy. It's very frustrating for salesmen in other countries.
Yeah. The next one is actually quite funny. I happen to really like to force licorice on people, especially if they're not used to it.
We love licorice. We eat it all day, every day. The black licorice, the salty one, the sweet one. You prefer the salty one, actually. This is more like the sweet with a little bit of this is more with the licorice wood as well in it. The sweet wood. How do you call it actually?
Licorice.
Licorice. Yeah. Super nice.
Licorice plant.
Yeah.
Oh.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm actually used to licorice. No. I'm actually used to licorice from Germany. But the amount and the variety of licorice in the Netherlands is I don't know, this is crazy.
We love it.
The next thing, maybe, I don't know if it's a habit, but it's quite an obvious thing that it's really nice to have. I speak Dutch almost every day, the whole day, fluently. So people almost don't recognize me as German anymore. And they even think sometimes I have a local dialect or whatever, and think I come from more a farmer's area, I don't know. Yeah.
But it's a
rural area.
For you, it's a good thing, because we Dutch people, we love making jokes about German guys.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk about that in another video.
Yeah.
So you have to check out the other video as well.
Yeah. But it's also really important to notice what you can see in another video where we talk about the don'ts, 11 don'ts in the Netherlands, and one of them is don't think that Dutch is the same as German.
No,
they don't like that.
So check out that video
do that.
on things not to do in the Netherlands.
Yes,
it's a really important video if you come to the Netherlands.
Yeah. The next thing is something I really love, and it's called satay sauce. It's actually peanut sauce, the really nice and spicy one. You can also get with your fries, but also with other dishes, especially the Indonesian kitchen has a lot of this type of sauce.
We love it.
Amazing.
We eat it with everything, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, we love our satay
barbecue
sauce, peanut sauce. Oh. Especially if you're here in the Netherlands, you have to try it with the French fries.
Mm-hmm.
Then have the satay sauce on it, the peanut sauce, and the mayonnaise, and some onions, and they call that
frietje oorlog, or patatje oorlog.
Yeah, it's
and it means war, fries war. Fries at war. Because there's so much going on and everything.
It's super nice.
Yeah, but it's really nice.
Check it out.
The next thing is, on the one hand, handy, but also on the other hand, quite annoying. You have to plan things like, I don't know how many weeks in advance, and your calendar is always full, and it's also a really Dutch thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the unfortunate thing about that is there's not much room left for spontaneity.
Yeah,
So-
that is true. That is I also don't like that part of our culture. I like to have a little bit of a clear calendar, or so that you can have like nice meetups with friends or family
Yeah.
if you have if you feel like it.
And the most horrible thing is if you have planned something and somebody cancels like at the same day or one day before, and then it takes I don't know how many weeks before you can meet again.
Because you have to reschedule, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time. Yeah.
So annoying.
I think
But yeah, we do that.
we are so structured and so organized that we plan ahead.
Yeah.
Because it makes us feel good, because we've planned meeting the people that we want to meet, but I think we go a little bit too far in that area.
I think the next thing is a really German thing to notice. I happen to, because you have two forms in Dutch to address someone, like a formal way and an informal way. And you also have that in German as well, but you don't have that in English, so that's quite tricky. But in German, it's quite common to always use the formal version. Also, like at work, and like because there's quite a strict hierarchy. But even also to your psychologist, or in general, people that are older than you, or people you don't know, or whatever. And then in the Netherlands, it's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
I really don't use it that much. Only like for really like people that are quite a lot older than me, and
Or in sometimes on
it's a
the
really
work floor. you do.
on a really formal level of your like
Yeah.
the service area kind of way.
I didn't used to say, I didn't used to talk to my grandparents like that. I always use the informal for variety.
But that would for me be super weird, because in Germany nobody talks formally to their grandparents. That's also a really weird thing, actually.
Here it's
heard.
only used for when you don't know somebody and that
Yeah.
person is older, then you'll use the formal version.
Yeah.
Actually a lot of languages have that. French and
Yeah,
Spanish
Spanish
have,
as well, yeah.
have that same form as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're family or if it's French, you don't use those.
I think English had that, but they don't have it anymore.
No, they didn't
it's
use
like
it,
archaic now. Yeah.
No.
The next thing is actually a word I happen to use quite a lot, like all the Dutch do, and it's called lekker.
Lekker.
Yeah, but what does it mean? It means quite a lot.
Yeah.
When I first came here, for me as a German, it only meant if foods or drinks are good, if they're
Tasty,
tasty
they're
good,
nice,
if
they
they're
taste
yummy,
nice,
if they're
yeah.
delicious,
Yeah.
then something is lekker.
But here we can say the weather is lekker.
Yeah.
Like the weather is tasty. For if you translate it literally, it means yummy.
Yeah.
So the weather is yummy, or your clothes are yummy. Or no,
Yeah.
the clothes are
Or you
comfortable.
feel yummy.
Yeah.
You feel lekker.
We just use lekker a lot. We love it.
Yeah. You can also use lekker to say to people.
Yeah, but you can do that in English as well. If a person is yummy, you can say they're yummy. They're lekker.
Yeah, but you can never say that in German. There's a really nice Dutch tradition I grew to love, just happening before Christmas, and it's called Sinterklaas.
Saint Nicholas is my favorite Dutch tradition.
Saint Nicholas.
Yeah, it's in English.
yeah.
But it's super fun, and I just love it. It's more of like a celebration for kids, but it is so much fun to experience it with your family and friends and have fun and give each other gifts. It is the Dutch version of the Christmas presents. We don't give presents for Christmas, we give presents for Saint Nicholas.
Yeah.
And it's also used with a lot of sarcasm and jokes and
But I think it's starting to change a little bit. That people tending to maybe celebrate both, or even go to Christmas all the way.
they won't skip over to Christmas completely,
No, but
especially
more for
when
the
you have
present
kids.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but the presents, some people do a few Christmas presents, but that's true. But it's
Yeah.
not as huge as in other countries.
But there's also quite a political issue, like revolving around it, especially also in like internationally, because in like the old tradition, Sinterklaas, Saint Nicholas had black Pete's, as
his
little helpers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they are not. Most of the time, people don't call them black Pete's anymore. They just call them Pete's.
Yeah.
And
Beaten.
the images used to be. I can see that people think that these images would be racist.
Yeah, and related to slavery.
Yeah, and of course it stems from that whole area, but it's not meant as that anymore. And it's whole shifted. The whole story shifted. And nowadays the Pete's, they have black splotches on their face because they go through chimneys to deliver the presents, and that's what the story tells for quite some years now already, quite a few years. That the Pete's are dirty because of the chimney.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then some Pete's are, of course, a little bit more dirty or blackish because of they go through the chimney.
Yeah, it depends on which chimney they enter. Maybe it wasn't that clean.
Yeah, so in that way, I do think it's a good way of transitioning from the traditional black Pete's that can definitely be interpreted as being racist, and going into the more modern version of it. And perfect. I think that's a really nice way of shifting this tradition.
The next thing is about an addiction. I have to confess.
Oh, what is the addiction?
I'm addicted to stroopwafels.
Oh, yes.
I think everybody knows stroopwafels because nowadays you can buy them everywhere. We've already found them in America, so...
Yeah, they are my favorite Dutch cookies.
Yeah, they're really good.
And we have them in our house practically all the time. I went into the cupboard just to see if we could eat one in this video. We are just out of stroopwafels.
Oh, no.
So we will buy them next week.
Yeah.
But
the best thing is if you live in the Netherlands, you can get them fresh.
Yeah.
Like at a stall, and they make them fresh in front of you and wrap them in paper, and they're like huge, and the caramel is still warm. And,
super nice. If you're in Amsterdam, check it out. So check out our Amsterdam food video.
Yeah.
Because they will show you where to get them.
But also in other bigger Dutch cities, you can also get them
or
if you happen to
markets
be there. Or markets. Yeah. This is one that is still quite tricky because I happen to do that, but it's still also very difficult for me. It's also a really Dutch thing. It's speaking in expressions a lot. Like a lot. And if you don't know what they mean, you have no idea what they're talking about.
Well, I think isn't that true for other countries as well? Like in
I don't know, but I noticed that there are quite a lot.
Yeah, it is true.
And they're used quite a lot, like for everything.
And I always mix them up anyway.
Oh, yeah, you're quite bad at it.
I'm known for mixing up all the expressions and sayings and everything.
And the last thing is also a language thing. It's using English quite a lot while speaking Dutch, like English words or like Dutchified English words, and that happens quite a lot, especially amongst young people. And it also happened to me when I was speaking German and I was using more English words, and people were like looking at me like, what are you doing? You are speaking English. And I was like, but you understand English. You had English in school. I was like, yeah.
But you always...
Yeah, we have a German word for that.
Yeah, and you always give us a hard time because then we will pronounce the English word in a Dutch way.
Yeah, that's the worst thing.
And then, you always give me a hard time when I do that. It's like, you will hear it on the radio or on television, commercials and everything.
Bungee jumping.
Yeah, or unlimited data.
Unlimited data.
Unlimited. It's quite funny. I now, because he pointed it out to me, now I hear it as well, that it's quite funny or weird. But yeah, I think we tend to pronounce English words in a Dutch way and then just incorporate it in our language.
There's some exceptions, like some people that don't do that, they use the proper pronunciation, but most people don't.
That's it?
That's it.
Was that 11 habits that you acquired?
That was the 11 habits.
Yeah, but like the last one wasn't really a habit you acquired because you don't pronounce
I acquired it.
Oh, okay.
I use it quite a lot, but I don't want to, but I do it.
Yeah, you have to. If you speak Dutch, you have to. Yeah,
and I even use the false pronunciation sometimes.
Yeah.
Or I think even more nowadays. Yeah.
So, if you have been living in the Netherlands, have you acquired any of these habits? Let us know in the comments down below what habits you acquired while living here, or if you can imagine acquiring these habits as well.
Yeah.
And subscribe to our channel for more of these videos on living in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
The Dutch culture shocks. So what else have you got planned for?
The next one coming up is all about the Dutch birthday parties, like a special video focusing only on that social occasion. and all the weird things that are connected to Dutch birthday parties. So check this one out.
Many more coming up, and also check out our other travel videos. Bye, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do you want to see us stuff more food in our mouths? Then subscribe to our channel or watch another stuffer.